Let's rock and roll, boys.
Hello, I'm Matt Schultz, and I'm joined by
Danny Tortelli.
Danny Tortelli, and you're here for another episode of another Nintendo podcast. This episode, the boys react to Super Smash Bros. Direct, which dropped today. Yeah, so Danny, how you doing?
I am doing swell. I am ready for some Nintendo news.
Right off the bat, just want to throw this out there: the big Smash character leak was false, right?
At least
Choir
for now.
Kids, Shadow, Banjo-Kazooie, Ken was right, which we'll get into in a second. But yeah,
1 for 4.
right. I was relieved because I was going into it like, oh, here comes Ken. Are they going to announce like all these other characters? But then I was like, oh, they said they were going to announce everyone. And then after they finished their announcements of the characters at the very front half of the direct, they were like, that's it. Well, it for the starting roster of the package you get when you purchase the game. So, all right, let's jump into it, Danny. First, character is revealed. Ken shows up. He's fighting Little Mac. There's kind of a whole boxing theme went on in the very beginning, and it was super cool. So Ken shows up. Do you have any Street Fighter affiliation, or is this something you're excited about?
It's always a hot one at the arcade and the barcade still. Seeing those old Street Fighter games. Yeah. It's gonna be a good one. I know Little Mac and Ryu are always fun ones to use, and kind of like that more boxing Street Fighter-esque Vania style. So I know a lot of people are really gonna enjoy that.
Now I can't remember. Was Ken a Echo Fighter, or is he his own thing?
I'm just double checking on Kotaku actually, and Ken will be an Echo Fighter. So yeah, a lot of his moves are gonna mirror Ryu's.
Right, he's like a little bit faster. He has like, they're probably, yeah. He seemed like he kind of still felt like his own character. Do we have friends? Do we have friends? Do we have friends?
No. Well, first of all, no. Just to clear that up. Yeah.
Do we have friends that played with Ryu at all?
So usually, my roommates in the past, we've played, and also some of Matt's friends as well. We've done like the random smashes, and so Ryu's come up a lot just because we've done quite a few random smashes. But when we do the rounds of like, okay, now you get to pick your own, not so much in our group. I don't know about other Smash circles, because that sounds appropriate that you're in.
A character I think our Smash circle will be appreciative of is Incineroar from Pokemon. So I think this is actually something I think a lot of players, we're all characters at heart, really were hoping for. And I think he looks super cool. I think he as a Pokemon already has that kind of like pro wrestler vibe to him. Big chested fire cat with a literal like championship belt made of fire on his waist, and I think it was really cool. His like little taunts and gestures,
chants,
at people after every move. I'm not sure how that's gonna work because in the direct they were like, it's okay though, you can like offset the taunt so that you don't leave yourself open for attack. And I was like, well, what if you forget to? Like, is this character constantly like doing things to leave
just
himself
taunting all the time?
Right,
Yeah.
Like you can't help it. Like if you punch someone and then your character just starts taunting automatically, because that's what it seemed like it was going to happen. But they said like you can reject the taunt, I think, through some sort of gesture input. Anyways, thoughts on Incineroar?
Having more Pokemon in this game, I think, is always a good thing. I actually tossed this around with a couple of our friends. I always kind of thought the future of Smash as a series could maybe even stem out to like there are different Smash games per universe.
Yeah.
So like I know we kind of got there with like the Pokken tournament, but like that's not really the same. Like, what if there was a Super Smash Brothers Pokemon edition where it was just nothing but like maybe 25 to 50 Pokemon characters that you could just
I was gonna say
in
that.
Smash style, and
That
then
was
you break it up
that was basically Pokemon tournament in a way,
right.
But
It's like it is, and it
which is
isn't,
weird because
but,
it's like, well, Pokemon already fight each other. It's like, it's like weird that they have like some person telling them what to do. It's like there's these immensely powerful creatures with super cool abilities and attacks, but they're literally useless unless there's like a trainer like yelling commands at them, which is odd. But
right.
in this world of yours, in this fictional Pokemon Smash game, but yeah, it's like there's enough Pokemon. It almost feels like in this game to. But now a bunch of these Pokemon are items, which we'll get to. But yeah, Incineroar, I'm excited. I think we know some players who are probably going to be excited for him.
Yeah, they'd be pretty jazzed.
The very last announcement for a character, not a character that technically will be bundled in with the game. It's the technical first post-production character or like downloadable character in this case, which is Piranha Plant, which, by the way, I don't know if you've seen the internet already, and just by watching his little cut sequence, you can see that Piranha Plant has little legs, like little tiny feet, like plant feet that like come out of the bottom of its little pipe / pot. So what are your thoughts?
Oh man, this reminds me of, we're going to another Pokemon deep cut here. Do you remember when the Let's Go games first showed like the animation of Venusaur moving? And Venusaur, like everyone always thought, like walked like a dinosaur, like like just one, maybe two legs at a time. But then they show the animation and he moves like a frog, or
he's like
or like a toad, and everyone's like, "What am I seeing? Like what's going on with my eyes?"
Yeah, to make it like look okay and Smash, and for him to move quickly enough. But yeah, they like had to reanimate him a little bit.
So yeah, seeing Piranha Plant with feet, I kind of laugh, and I kind of just am like, you know what, that's so Nintendo.
No, this is
just
great. Doesn't it remind you of the reveal for Duck Hunt Dog, where it's just like it's such a ridiculous character? You're like, it's a dog with a bird, like I mean, which I know we've seen in kind of a Banjo-Kazooie-esque way, but like we weren't expecting that with Duck Hunt Dog, and with this character, it's like, okay, a plant in a pot is going to be fighting, and I think what's so cool is that it's just simple. It's not this like super advanced character. It's not huge. It doesn't have all these bells and whistles. Like think of like what's the character from I'm forgetting the series. Like there's like so many characters in this game that have like a special charging meter or 5 different weapons that you can like initiate, like with like Mega Man or
he's creatively plain and unique and just like
it reminds me of a character that could have been in like the first or second Smash Brothers. I mean, it opens up the gates for stuff like that, like, and it's not even Peony Piranha, right? Peony Piranha is the big one, like the big boss. If this is just a normal Piranha Plant, though the final Smash is Peony Piranha, like shaking the cages of characters, which I thought was pretty cool. Are you gonna play? You gonna play a lot?
That might be it. Like that one, I'm just like, you know what? That one is quirky and weird enough and out of left field enough that I actually might. This might be one. This might be one of the new ones that I actually give a chance. Still kind of burned about no Spyro, but we'll get to that later. But Piranha Plant, looking forward to it.
Right. So these are the final. I mean, as of right now, that's everyone we know. However, there is our Smash Fighter or Smash Fighters, depending on which one you get, pass. So Nintendo did announce their DLC for the game, which is great. I think fans are more excited about that than not. I think you're already getting an immense package in this whole game, and yet there still is more. So when they said final, I was like, okay, like there's gonna be more.
Buying this?
Right. And like they even kind of showed that off with Piranha Plant. But then they said there's gonna be 5 more characters they're gonna you reveal, and you could buy one for $5.99, which comes with a stage and some music, which I think is great. If you're like, Smash Brothers, it's a Nintendo encyclopedia. If you're a Nintendo fan, this game is like, a treasure trove of all the great little Nintendo things you love. So
yeah,
stages and music and stuff is great. So $24.99, which is kind of a deal for all of them.
Or all of them.
All 5. And you could buy that right now. You could buy everything right now digitally on Nintendo's eShop and get double the gold coins if you're collecting those, and have it pre-downloaded onto your Switch right now. Or if you want the hard copy, you can still do that. You can still download Piranha Plant which I guess I don't understand. I'm sorry, I'm really going into this.
No, let it out.
Tell me what you think about this Piranha Plant. Right? He's basically if you buy the game in the first month and a half, you get Piranha Plant. So I guess I'm just confused as to why is he just not in the game? Why is this like a special DLC character?
Just to punish those people who don't buy the game in the first 2 months of its release. Oh, nope, sorry. Now you have to pay.
Now you have to pay $5.99. That's right.
You're one of all of your friends who bought it. You were the sole. Yeah, so now this person not only feels ostracized from their friend groups, they're being punished from the retailer.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
So, do you think you'll pick up the Smash Players Pass?
Yeah, because just if nothing else, even if I hated all the characters, I'm just a collector. If I love most of the game, even if I'm not thrilled about the other parts of the DLC, I just want the DLC to just be able to say it's there. Should I change my mind? Should I feel like exploring? So yeah, I'll probably definitely do that. Definitely gonna go hard copy, just because I'm gonna stick with that as long as I can.
I'm so conflicted on this. I want the hard copy because the artwork is so cool and I like it on the box. And before Amazon switched over, I got the $10 off when I pre-ordered it. But
you want those gold coins?
Yeah, I like the idea of just being like, oh, I can get that icon on my Switch right now. I can pre-order everything all at once. I can get double the gold coins right away.
They're fragmenting the fan base, man. Yeah, they're just really. Yeah, once Apple got rid of the headphone jack, anything that should be going into your device is now it's going to eventually get on the chopping block. So I know down the road games will eventually only be digital. So I'm keeping one foot in the old door.
And then in my argument, they shouldn't be as expensive then, right? Because you're not you technically don't. You're basically leasing the digital license of this game.
You don't have to pay for the physical production of like you said, of a something to ship.
Right.
Yeah.
Because long term. Anyways, we can go right down that rabbit hole. All right, so 74 characters. That includes Echo Fighters. That includes Piranha Plant. That's what we've got right now, plus 5 more in the works, which is huge. Again, this is the penultimate Smash, so you're really getting your money's worth here. But what I did want to get into next was Spirits. All right, so Spirits was revealed.
Break it
These
down.
Are basically fighters can join forces with these spirits of basically Nintendo characters from all over Nintendo's lifespan, and they kind of lend their power or skills according to Sakurai. And so this is in place of trophies. So we're no longer getting trophies to collect. Instead, you're getting these kind of almost like collectible cards of characters, and I want to know what are your thoughts on that? First around the replacement of them, and then we can kind of get into what.
Well, so I was digging a little bit more at that cut about the spirit mode and the story mode.
Right.
And did you see that comparison someone made to this being compared to Avengers Infinity War?
Oh yeah, definitely the snap. Thanos. Yeah, you literally have a glove. There's multiple gloves.
Yeah, and then it takes out everybody except for the character you were least expecting, and then they're the ones in charge of bringing everybody else back.
I know I was put this later in our show notes, but I was so I was giddy on my couch. I'm like, go Kirby, and then he's the last character, and then that you can see, and then he just in the game he exhausted his star, just poop, and I was like, wow, where'd he go? It's clear he made it somewhere else, he didn't get dusted or zapped or whatever. And so then of course he's revealed at the end as like having survived. And you're like, yeah, and the music like comes back up and it's like the woman's voice singing and you're like, oh my god, this is like, I can't wait to talk about this. Anyways, so yeah, so spirits though, like you're not collecting trophies anymore. Are you excited still, like in the idea of being able to collect these characters and that they do stuff?
Yeah, I mean that seems cool. I mean, I'm thinking back to Smashes gone by. It was always one of those things, you spend so many hours getting those trophies and then afterwards you're like, what did I get out of that? Like it looks, yeah, it's right there. I don't. Cool. The trophies, I was always just kind of like, again, the collectionist inside of me was like, oh yeah, get them all. But
I think if you remember in the last few, there was like the last one or the last two, like you would have to like, you collected music individually, you collected like CD, like you collected all this stuff individually, and now it looks like it's all coming in the form of spirits, you know, or like let's say you play the main game and you're unlocking characters. I'm sure you get stages and music coupled with it, but it's also like all this music gets unlocked with like it's kind of all packaged together now. Because before a trophy was just a trophy, and now it feels like it's like, oh, you got KK Slider, and you also got a couple of his songs from Animal Crossing, like with that. But then you get this cute picture or this cool picture of this character. And what I think is interesting is they're like charms. That's what they were saying. Like in an RPG game, like they're basically like talismans that you kind of link up to your characters and they lend their power. And specifically, they have tiers. So there's novice, advanced, ace, and legend. So it's almost like opening a Pokemon card pack and like hoping that you get or you find like an ace or a legendary character or a spirit in this case. So they kind of showed it off like Dry Bones Bowser was like a legendary character, and an ace was kind of like a Fire Emblem character, I think.
Interesting.
And like they kind of like tiered them that way.
So is it in these little badges that you get that help increase your abilities, are those to use only in certain modes, or is that like even for free play?
So yeah, they said that you can use them to help enhance your characters when you play against one another, and you can also use them to enhance your character for the main story. So in spirit mode, you're like fighting to collect spirit. Now I don't know if spirit mode's linked with the story mode. I don't know, because it looked like that's what happened. They all like turned into spirits, but so I'm not really sure what that looks like. But I know that at least with spirits, they're doing this really cool thing where like you don't actually play against the spirit. It's like you're playing against the character that's being enhanced by this spirit, and it's pretty cool. Nintendo's doing this in a really unique way where it's like they're linking characters with like characters or like spirits. So for example, they had a character that was like a spirit link up with the Mii fighter, and then the actual like manifestation of that Mii fighter was this character, but like extra large, holding certain items. Like they do stuff in the game to make that character seem like the spirit it's possessing. So I was like, what's like some good ones? So I don't know if you know about the Able sisters. The Able sisters are from Animal Crossing. They're these little hedgehogs that like sew things together in the store that you can buy clothes from. And so there's three of them, and those are spirits, and they link in the game. You can play against Sonic the Hedgehog possessed by the Able sisters, because it's a hedgehog with these other hedgehogs from another series. And it's funny. So then you got like, okay, how are they gonna do that? Well, they give Sonic these little drill dozer items. So you're playing against Sonic. You know, like the drill dozer item is like that item that's like it like zaps you across the map. Yeah, and it's funny because it's like, okay, it's like a hedgehog with like a sewing kit, or with like, you know, a machine that it's using to build something, so they kind of play into like, okay, how are we gonna like join these like characters together? And I thought that was really really cool. And it's gonna make these like fights really interesting. And just being able to collect spirits that way. But like you were saying, like how what do they do? Apparently they can help you. Like you can like. I think that you like as you collect spirits, you can use them to attach it like again like an item to your character, and then on top of that you can like attach one main one and then 3 extra ones, and they give you like special abilities to help you face other spirits. I don't know what it looks like completely, but like it looked fun. It looked really fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely, I'll try it. I guess, and maybe I have to try it because will some players be locked behind it until it's like complete?
I don't think so. I think those are all behind story mode. I think
Gotcha.
These are more like just extra add-on stuff.
Gotcha.
They also talked about how the characters would have like either like 3 main abilities: attack, grab, or shield. Attack, being besting grab besting shield, and shield besting attack. And that using certain spirits would help you like face the next person within this mode. So like and it'll tell you before the fight, like, oh, this person's like heavy shield and is prone to XYZ. So you might be like, oh, I'm gonna attach my advanced attack spirits character, whoever that is. So
okay.
I don't know. I honestly just need to watch it a couple more times to kind of figure it out, but it seemed like a cool way to collect characters that's different from trophies. That actually do stuff.
Yeah, plus if there's any benefit normally with my roommates when they get their really good characters, I need like every advantage I can get. So
right,
for sure.
And so you don't have to play, you can just play normally. And actually it was pretty funny because Sakurai was saying like, hey, we're gonna figure out what what battling online looks like for people and how players are ranking, and we're gonna make adjustments and like, adjust the game's like stats accordingly to make sure the balance is right. So like just like they do with Splatoon. I don't know that they did it with Mario Kart all that much, but with Splatoon, almost monthly or every other month, they're like releasing a big update to kind of balance the game. So, okay. So story mode. Let's get into the world of light. First of all, the dusting. What are your thoughts and reactions to that opening cinematic experience?
The fact that Kirby has to be the one, I don't know. I think
it's really interesting, right?
Right. But at the same time, all I think about is how, was it Smash 64? How I got totally rickrolled. So many of my friends at the time were like, oh yeah, if you play Kirby all the way through, when you face the Master Hand, you use Kirby's like inhale and you get like the Master Hand like hat and you get Master Hand powers. There's so many times I played through story mode just to get to that level, never got it to work, and I thought I was always doing it wrong until one of my friends was like, yeah, no, we were totally just messing with you. So now that it's Kirby that has to go back to like save everybody, I'm just like, of course it is. Of course I have to be Kirby, because like since my childhood, I've like refused to be Kirby unless like I lost a bet or unless like I absolutely had to. So I'm like, oh, of course it's Kirby. But the idea of it seems fine. Cinematics look pretty good. Yeah, I'm still excited regardless.
Now, I think so. Kirby obviously is one of the original Pokemon, right? And I feel like, or not Pokemon, Smash players. There would be a Pokemon basically.
The Pokesmash, yeah, the spinoff, yeah.
So, but in that game, the opening sequence, right? It's like HAL Laboratories, and it shows like the hand going into the chest, and then it's picking up. I think it picks up Yoshi, and then like sets up a whole thing with like Samus, and it counts 3, 2, 1, snap. And then they're like in a level and they start fighting each other. But at the very end of that whole sequence, the final scene is you see, I think you see Mario and Kirby like, like they're like one of the first two to fight. And then in other Smash games, I think Melee, the two of them are fighting each other again. And I don't know if it's just like a callback or a throwback to like Kirby being one of the original 6 or original 8, I should say.
Yeah.
And like, maybe I think he might even be in the original because there's 4 characters that you can play with right off the bat, and then you get the other 4, unlock the other 4. I don't know. I don't know which ones those are. But did you also notice the final smash for Yoshi?
Let's go over it again for the audience.
So they played. So they show it, and it's all this herd of Yoshis running up, and then cinematically the camera pans back, and then they're like running over another hill, and they're stampeding over the character that's getting smashed. It's a direct callback to Melee's opening credits when they're showing all the characters, and it's like a herd of Yoshis, and then there's like a big Yoshi that's like, come on. It was like it's basically directly pulled from that and just kind of updated a bit. It's really cool. Take a look at it if you haven't seen that. But it feels like in a lot of ways that actually no, I'm watching it right now. The end of the Smash 64 trailer shows it's Mario and Kirby are the last ones on screen that are like duking it out. Anyways, I just think it's like it's full of callback. So maybe that's why. It is interesting that you start as Kirby. That's for sure.
Right. Yeah, that's something special.
So overall,
Good,
what are you excited for this? The what is it called? The World of Light.
Yeah.
It's like, were you into story mode like Subspace Emissary or any like that?
Subspace Emissary, remind me, was that Wii U?
Subspace Emissary, I believe was Brawl.
So fun fact, Brawl is the only one, not only did I not own, I never played.
Really?
So I missed out on Brawl entirely. I didn't have a Wii. I was one of those few people in the world who didn't have a Wii.
Okay.
And even my 2 friends who had, because it was like at the time where like, hey man, I don't play video games anymore. You're at that age. Most of my friends had weaned off of it, so I think I still had my Xbox because it doubled as a DVD player, and like the Halo games were a little bit more mature. Never had a Wii. Missed out on Brawl, which is why I'm also really excited they bring back Wolf, because Wolf seemed like a really cool character. And now I get to play as Wolf, but that's another story.
The Subspace Emissary introduced just these super fun CGI crossover footage within the game, and Subspace Emissary was fun. It just was a story mode to accompany otherwise fantastic fighting game that didn't need it. And that's how you unlocked characters. It was just fun to play and see. I would highly suggest that you just go through YouTube and watch the Subspace Emissary clips. Just go watch through them. You'll just, if you're a Nintendo fan, you'll just drool Nintendo fandom love out of your mouth because I don't know, it's just so cool to see. And this feels very much like that. Just to see your characters all CGI'd up and almost just playing through just to see the cutscene.
Yeah, I'm going back and watching through the cutscene.
World of Light.
World of Light, there we go. I'm just going back and watching it through the direct, and the cutscenes look beautiful. I kind of just want Nintendo to make an animated movie. That'd be great.
Well, there's rumors about a Netflix animated, anime style animated Zelda spinoff. From the creators of the Castlevania anime that's on Netflix right now.
Interesting.
You should definitely give it a watch. I've watched a few episodes of that, and it's really good. But of course, with the IP like Zelda attached to it,
man, and I just want it to take place in Breath of the Wild style.
I think it definitely would. I think it would capitalize on that whole that whole part of the game or the Zelda timeline. Yeah.
So when the Breath of the Wild anniversary comes up, we'll have to do a 2-year retake.
Anyway, so in the same vein as some of the Subspace Emissary and other smashes, there's going to be bosses. there's gonna be like these big bosses that you fight that aren't characters, but they're like just specifically made for this game. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that seems super unique. I kind of like the ability of not having it be a playable character as the boss. Like, it keeps it a little bit more mysterious. It keeps it a little bit more like I don't know, kind of. It seems like a villain. You know, it seems like something that's not tangible, and that's just kind of. Yeah, no, I like the mystery behind it, and that it's just something created specifically for that reason and for no other purpose. You can't play as them, but you do have to play against them. So I do like that.
And then I think there's also like a skill tree, which is, you know, similar to like some RPGs where you're like unlocking skills for your character like along a branch until you've maxed out and you do another one. So I guess rewarding you for going through the game with multiple characters. I mean, the world, the world map looks so beautiful. How you walk around it, it's like, what is this game? Like, it's not just like, for once, like playing like not for once, but I feel like I'm excited to play this game by myself. Just to sit down and like really just get into it, and even better, just lie in bed and play it. Which can only be previously done on the Smash Brothers 4 for 3DS. So you're looking at it right now, aren't you?
I'm looking at it right now, and all I think about is this just feels like a cross between Mario Party and just the way it's laid out, as far as like you're going through the map, you have to do the different things, and also like there's the one part where you have to ride Lapras from like,
I know, you're like Pokemon trainer and you're on Lapras, whatever.
Right. And I'm like, okay, that just seems like the 3D Pokemon, like what
doesn't
we've
that
always
seem
wanted.
Interesting though, that it's
Right.
like it feels like you're unlocking certain characters, and those specific characters only can get you to other parts of the map. Like, are you gonna be summoning a Lapras with like Olimar? No, like I would assume not. But I wonder if that's a part of it. But the map is huge. It is freaking huge.
Yeah.
At least it looks that way in this trailer. I like the art style of it too. I think it looks very like it plays with the whole like art on the front of the box that they've been doing.
Right, which I really appreciate. And like the size and the scales of everything are so wonky, and it's so quirky. It looks really good. Yeah.
So
it looks good.
Overall, let's give this direct a score or a rating. And in the vein of Super Smash Brothers, I'm gonna put it in 4 categories. So we've got novice, advanced, ace, or legend. What would you give this particular direct?
Man, I'm thinking novice, ace, advanced, or legend.
Advanced goes novice, advanced, ace, or legend.
Novice, advanced. I wouldn't go legend because I'm still being super snarky about not getting any of my character predictions right. And so I mean, I'd give it an advanced, right? We said advanced was third.
Ace
novice.
Is third. You give it an ace.
I'd give it an ace. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I want to give it a legend score so bad because that just like what they did cinematically with those characters and showing us like off the story mode and surprise. Like I feel like the story mode is the story of this direct, and I'm sure it's getting talked about a lot all over the internet, but I feel like it was just kind of like snuck in behind a bunch of stuff, which I don't know if they should open with that or not. But I feel like it was kind of hidden behind a bunch of stuff. And for me, just seeing all of that and seeing the big reveal, I almost wish they would have spent more time telling us about that than they did about spirits or how many assist trophies there are. What, you know,
right.
So I'm excited for it. So I was going to give it an ace because the character reveals were good. They were cinematic, but they didn't like surprise me like the other ones did. You know, like they weren't like, and one more character. And then they didn't. I was expecting Sakurai to basically, kind of troll us again with just like
with a purple and yellow chair.
Yeah, or something like when King K. Rool comes out, but he's like wearing someone else's costume initially, and then he's like, actually, psych, it is King K. Rool.
It was King DDD wearing somebody else's. And then it was DDD.
Right. And then it's like the double switch. Yeah.
Right.
That for me was so cool. And it was like a big moment. It was a big character. Now, like, still like a big Nintendo character yet to reveal, but I think that'll come.
Man, no. I mean, I'm just excited to get my hands on it. It'll be good. I gotta dig out my old GameCube controllers, or maybe get a new one. There's a whole bunch of new ones and like third-party new ones. I did just order a new Smash controller. I would order it now, just so you. Which one? Did you get the Nintendo official wired, or did you get one of the third-party licensed ones?
Nintendo official wired, and it has like a little. I got a Nintendo official wired for the last Smash game, not Brawl.
Yeah.
4, and
kind of worn out.
Or Smash Wii U. No, it's good. It's just like it's literally the same controller except with like a different Smash logo on it. So I'm like, I don't know why I did that.
Have you seen some of the third-party licensed ones? Sorry, I know we're trying to like close this thing out.
Yeah, they're like different colors and they have all the characters on them.
They add a second Z button, so it's like more modern. It's got two, like a button and a trigger on each side, and a lot of them added the home and snapshot buttons too, so it's almost like a Pro controller just with GameCube general designs. I actually want Nintendo to just make a Pro GameCube controller. I kind of just want that. I want it to be wireless, charge via USB-C, still have the big A, still have the surrounding X and Y.
That would be great. I feel like the whole novelty of the Pro or the GameCube controller is that it's wired. But you're saying like you want a nice Wavebird. You want the Wavebird of the future.
Yeah, the Wavebird I always thought looked dumb just because it didn't look like the GameCube controller. It was just like more boxy. Yeah. I think it had to be, the technology back then. You fit the batteries in, whatever. I want the Wavebird, but looking more like the wired controller, if that makes sense.
Well, I think it's so interesting because all the footage they showed in the Treehouse, so there was a Treehouse Live after the Smash, and all the Nintendo Treehouse folks are there, and they're doing like an unboxing of the actual game. I think it's all online, you can check it out, but it's they all are using Pro controllers. They're wired in. I think they're just charging. I don't know what that was about.
Just intern forgot to charge them the night before.
Right, or if they were like it's a whole streaming thing and they want everything to be wired, but like they weren't using GameCube controllers plugged into a GameCube adapter. They were using Pro controllers, and I think that was like they were trying to like promote that. And they had the nice new Pro controller that has like the white on it.
The accents,
And they unboxed the like Smash Ultimate version of the Switch with like the special etching on the toaster. And then the like special Joy-Con. But anyways, it's cool. It's a great package. And I have all my GameCube controllers ready. I don't know how I'm ever gonna play that game. I think though it's not gonna be. I think this is gonna be a case where people aren't gonna be as upset to use a Pro controller.
I'm sure I'll come around. Still, initially, I'm like, but my Pro controller, like, it's just so nice and pretty looking. That's in this category. Right. I will dig out my GameCube controller because I know I'm gonna destroy this thing playing Smash. But I'm sure I'll come around and it'll be a great fit.
All right, thanks for listening to another Nintendo podcast. You can find me at this channel, and that's it. And Danny is also on this channel. I don't know if...
Yeah, you can find me here. I don't leave. We eat and sleep within the YouTube video.
We just wait here.
Yep.
So that all 7 of our subscribers can watch it.